Is it really a spoiler if the company themselves that make Attack on Titan and Studio Mappa comes out and say that there will be a part 3 in 2023? Because part 2 ends on a cliffhanger for Attack on Titan final season, and I'm going to review it on this episode of Movie Breakdowns. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And before I get started, is there a TV show or anime or series you want me to watch? Let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to as best I can. Also on Patreon.com/Ali Zakka. For $2 a month, you get your review out way before it comes on Facebook and YouTube. I stop everything I do and get your review like that. Also, I have trailer reactions, trailer reviews, and much more content discussions on the Patreon. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's episode of Attack on Titan Season 4. Part 2, or the final season, part 2. I'm gonna give like 5 minutes here of non-spoilers, and then I don't talk about spoilers because it's really hard not to do that. This season is only 12 episodes, episodes 17 to 28, and from the trailers, it's the epic battle on the Isle of Paradise where Eren is trying to get to his brother Zeke to team up and set their action into plan. That is pretty much the gist of this, and as they're trying to do this, the Marlians are trying to stop them from doing it, and you leave Armin and Mikasa trying to figure out what Eren's goals are in this season. That's pretty much the gist of season 4, part 2, the final season, part 2. That's pretty much the gist of it. And as the season plays out, you get more talking episodes. The action sequences are amazing. They're good, really good stuff. Let me talk about the things I like. The things I like, the action sequences are really great. When Studio Mappa puts in the action, they have an action scene, they really put time and effort into it. You can tell the music changes, the animation changes, the style changes. And I also like the characters in this. I enjoy the characters from the beginning. But I do like how the characters are getting a little more fleshed out in this season, like Gabby and Falco, and you get to learn more about Reiner and his situation. Like, you get more of them. And then the things I didn't like, there are parts in the animation where characters are standing there, they just look stiff. I don't know what happened. They didn't seem like characters would be blinking in the background, or they'll just stand there. For example, Gabby saves the girl who tried to kill her in part 1 of the final season. She tries to save her family. And then they have a talking segment, and in this talking segment, everybody just looks stiff, no eye shaking, eyes just pretty much drawn blank. And look, the characters are standing there like this, talking, having a conversation. The mouth is moving, but the eyes, no reaction in their face. From other seasons, you have characters talking and you can see the reactions in their face. You can see the eyebrow raise a little, or they blink maybe once or twice while another character is talking to them, make it seem more realistic. But this season, they're just talking, and characters are not like they're just drawing there, like just drawing characters who are just having a dialogue, but it's like they feel expressionless in certain scenes. I'm gonna see if I can find some stills to put into this video, because at certain times I just like, man, I just feel like the character seems stiff. I did watch this in sub, watched this in Japanese, and I felt like the characters' expressions just really seemed stiff in this season. But when it came to action sequences, or sequences when it's time to do something, those expressions changed. The movements were different. They felt more alive. The drawing animation felt more alive when it's actually doing things versus just talking. That is like my biggest issue with this. Another thing is, I wasn't a fan of the cliffhanger. I was expecting this to be the final season, part 2, and I wasn't expecting there to be a part 3 in 2023. So when the season ended at the episode 28, I was like, oh, well, pooey. Like, I don't know, I just kind of felt like, I kind of felt dead a little bit. I was like, man, we had this moment, we were finally getting somewhere. I felt like we were trying to get more about Eren's backstory, because I'll talk about that in the spoilers section, but yeah, we're trying to get more about Eren's backstory, and then it just kind of like, Huh. And what I mean by backstory, if you've been watching Attack on Titan, he, at the beginning of season 1, or I guess part 1 of the final season, Eren is not with the rest of the I can't think of the name of the group now. The regiment. I can't think of the name of the regiment. He's not with the rest of them. He is on the island of Marley. So everybody else is back home on the island of Paradise. So you're just like, alright. Well, how did Eren get here? How does this and this happen? So you get a little more backstory on that, but I feel like it wasn't fleshed out enough to really get me to the point where Eren is doing the things he is doing in this season. But the 28 episode also alludes to why Eren is doing this as well. Like in a few other episodes throughout the season, it does show why too. And this season's been more about big moments and big clips versus the overall story. I feel like there's certain episodes that are really good, and there's certain episodes where you're just like, it's another Attack on Titan episode. We're okay with this. It's fine. We're getting more exposition, more talking. The Attack on Titan episode. Matter of fact, I would say, because out of the 12 episode season here for part 2, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is a big one. And 6 is where like there are big action moments, and 6 is kind of a dying down point. And then you don't get another action moment until like episode 27, where you're like, oh, okay, here's another big action piece. So between episode 27 and 22, you're just getting like talking points, and just talking and talking and talking, and character reveals and talking and talking and talking. So it's, in whether or not you care about these characters, whether or not you'll be more intrigued or engaged into it. If you don't care about these characters, you're not gonna be engaged into these episodes. So I just feel like part of it was, to me, was kind of like ups and downs. But as far as animation goes, besides the stiffness of certain characters, I did enjoy this season. I really did. I had a good time watching this season. There's moments where I've been like, oh my gosh, let's go. And there's other moments I'm like, oh, okay, neat. It's interesting, no? And other moments I'm like, oh, sure, we're just going here now. We're doing this. Alright, so let's go and get into the characters and the writers and the studio. So the studio that made the animation series for season 4 is Studio Mappa. And the author of Attack on Titan is Hajime Isayama, which at this point, because it's going to be a part 3 for the final season, I'm going to go ahead and just read the manga and finish it all before the season comes out, so I know what to expect. And before I get to the characters, I do want to talk about the opening and the soundtrack. So Attack on Titan's soundtrack, the OST, the original soundtrack to the show, has been great. It's always been amazing. I love it. Even the opening soundtrack, the opening theme song, and the closing theme song, besides season 3 with, I think, Red Swan was that song that I didn't like for season 3 opener. But all the other ones, and Rumbling for season 4 part 2 is no different. It is a very catchy song. I'm not a fan of Screamo, but after a while, and that drop hit where like, if you lose it all, like that part right there catches me, and I find myself thinking about the song every once in a while. Not as much as My War. I love My War, and Sasageo is phenomenal. Sasageo is phenomenal. But as far as openings go, I would put this one probably 3 or 4, somewhere around that range. I've got to rank all the Attack on Titan openings. I might make that a side video. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the characters. First, we got Mikasa Ackerman. Mikasa in this season, she hasn't really had that moment yet. Like I said, she's always been the badass character who, you know, will protect her friends, protect Eren because she loves him, and do what she must to make sure Eren's okay, and she loses when Eren gets in trouble. But since Eren is one of the reasons trouble is happening in this season, she's almost like in a stand still. She doesn't know which way to go in this season. You actually get to see her struggle a little bit, but for majority of the season, you don't really see. You see bits and pieces of it, and then to the last episode when you really see her like struggle. So like in this season, she's kind of having a moment, but it's not really flushed out yet to the point where you're like, okay, this is it. Like they're getting to it, they're building up to it. In this season for Mikasa, I just kind of wish they focused more on her mindset regarding this, because they touch on it and then they go to other characters. Armin this season disappoints me. The dude, I get he's a pacifist, he doesn't really like fighting, but the dude is the colossal titan and he has not transformed at all this season. Matter of fact, he is in his human form 9 times out of 10, and he doesn't really like do anything. It's disappointing. And he has a moment this season as well where he's questioning his goals and questioning his mentality and questioning things for him, but almost like, come on bro, like you're a titan, why aren't you doing anything? Reiner's back in here as well, and Reiner, he is the antagonist to Eren. I'm not sure why Eren name blocked out on me. I was thinking of Zeke too, but antagonist to Eren, and Reiner still kind of feel this, like his guilt from the first part of season 4 is still with him in this season, and he's trying to do the best he can to stop Eren, but really he still like doesn't know which way to go as well. Like he's having his little crisis in this season. Let's see here, Eren Yeager. Eren, for the most part, like he's in the first part of this season, and then the last couple of episodes, you don't really see Eren at all. He is pretty much not really, like this season's not really about Eren. Like after the events that happen in the first half of the season, the rest of the season is not about Eren. It's more about the rest of the group, like John and Armin and Mikasa. It's about them and Connie. So I'll talk more about Eren in the spoilers section, but really Eren is there than not. Connie's changed. He changed a lot. Ever since Sasa passed away, he is more, not cutthroat, I guess more cutthroat. Like he's just been hardened by war and been hardened by all the things that's been going on, that he's kind of have a darker soul now in this season, and he still has a little bit of a good guy soul to him, and there's a point where he almost converts over to the dark side almost, and Armin's kind of there to kind of snap him out of it, which you're like, oh, he has something there, should have went with it, because it was too quick of a resolution for me for Connie. But Connie is more of a go-getter in this season. You have Hanji. She is a focal point in this season. She's kind of more of the glue that keeps everything together at this point in this season. She is kind of rallying the troops against Eren and at the certain part of the season, because she's like what you saw in the last season she was getting ready to do, but that goal is still continuing forth. And that's as far as the characters I really want to talk about, because everybody else I can't really say anything about. Peek is here. Peek is there. And she's also kind of like, you know, want to stop Eren as well. So she's also, you know, same characters from last season. And Gabby, who has a little character development in this season. Gabby really understands like the dangers of war at this point. She understands what war means, and sees that like not everybody are bad people. And this season really sits on her, and she's like, she feels guilty about the things she's done. Like Gabby has had a different character arc in this season. She's growth. And then Falco, I'll talk more about him in the spoilers. Any other thoughts before I give this season final grade for jumping to the spoilers? The music is solid. Animation is good when it's like the action pieces, but when the talking points, you can see like where the characters just look like they're still and stiff. So animation's like up and down. And Color's fine. I think the color is great. The setting of it is great. Is this an anime you should binge? This season you should binge. Yes. Binge watch Attack on Titan's final season part 2. It's binge watch worthy. Yes. And grading time. I'm going to grade Attack on Titan final season part 2 or season 4 part 2 a solid B. It gets 85% for me. This is a solid, like, it's a solid season. There's some few things hit and miss, and then as far as like animation, you'll notice some things seem stiff and some animations are very fluid, and then you'll see a little drop off after the first 6 episodes. There's a drop off there, and then it picks back up a little bit as far as not even just like character, not even far as action, but like character development and growth and details. Maybe because I'm more of a fan of Eren to me, so the rest of the crew, when you get them, the rest of the scouts, you're just like, it's fine, but I feel like these characters haven't really moved much at all. Like, really, Mikasa doesn't really have a moment until like the last part of the season. So it's hit or miss. Some people are going to enjoy this season, some people are not going to enjoy this season, but I say based on animation, character development, the major parts of this season, the moments I was like, yes, let's go, the moments I was like, I'm giving this a B, an 85%. If you seen Attack on Titan final season part 2 or season 4 part 2, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. And for those who stick around for spoilers, we're getting started in 3, 2, 1. Alright, spoiler time. So the main pieces of this season, what's really need to be spoiled is, 1, Annie comes back. Annie's alive again. She's always been alive, but she's actually free. So how this happened for Annie to come back into the storyline, Eren betrays Zeke. So Zeke wanted to do the euthanation and like rid everybody of the Titan's ability and pretty much kill them all off. Everybody who's a Titan would die off. He wants to end the Titan bloodline. Eren was like, no, I'm not in the Titan bloodline. I'm getting revenge. And Eren's backstory in this, I guess, main piece in this story of this season is hatred and revenge. Eren wants revenge on those who have done harm to all the people of Island of Paradise and harm to people in other countries. Like, he wants to make them suffer, and he said he wants to end hatred. But by what is Eren doing is causing the cycle of hatred to continue, because as we see here, and Gabby is an example of this, you kill my friend, I'm going to kill you, and that cycle keeps going. And Eren lost his mother. He never forgot that. And in episode 28, one of the last clips is Eren remembering his mother getting killed, and he's like, I want to kill all the bad guys, all the enemies, because like they caused the Titans to come and harm us, and my mother had to die for nothing. I'm going to make sure they suffer, which is the cycle of revenge and hatred, which Eren says he wants to stop. But Gabby is learning in this season that, like, because we was brainwashed to believe that these people was bad people, they're not bad people. And some of the Marlians also think that too. Like, Peak is kind of like, yeah, we're not bad people. We get the tag of Ymir, children of Ymir, but we're not horrible people. And Marlians, we just work for Marlians because we want our freedom. But Eren's like, I'm gonna give y'all freedom, but he's going about it the wrong way. Like, it is definitely an interesting storyline for Eren. The only problem about Eren's storyline is that you get it in the first 6 episodes, and after that he's gone to the very ending of the season. Like, you don't even get to see when Eren turns into the founding / attack Titan. You don't even get to see what he looks like until the very last episode. But when he turns into the founding Titan, and get the power of the founding Titan, he does a thing called rumbling, and all the Titans that are inside the walls break free, which is nothing but colossal Titans. They all break free and start marching to Marley and start marching across the ocean. But Annie also gets free thanks to Eren's roar called the rumbling. She gets free as well, and she's like, I know everything's going on, and Eren's about to kill our family. I need to stop Eren. So she teams up with Reiner, and Annie and Peak and Gabby and Falco, who now is a Titan himself. He ate his brother Colt. I believe Colt was his brother. So he gets the Jaw Titan. They team up with Armin, Mikasa, John, Connie, and a few other people from Isle of Paradise, including Hanji and Levi is still alive. They team up together and they kind of get like a ragtag crew together to try to stop Eren from conquering the world. And that's how you get all that. But the moments in this season, for example, Gabby shoots Eren's head clean off, and Eren's head falls right into Zeke's hand, and they connect and they go to the founding Titans, like Tree of Titans, I guess, or Tree of Light, whatever you want to call it, the branches of the Titans, and you get Ymir's backstory and how she became a Titan, which to me still doesn't make sense. She fell into like a lake, this existence, this being, this alien life form, I don't know, attaches itself to Ymir. Ymir then becomes the first Titan. The king sees his power, he enslaves her, makes her his wife, and then makes her have kids. Ymir pretty much protects herself, gets killed, and the king for some reason was like, I want my kids to eat the mother's meat. So he has his kids eat Ymir's body, and then they get the ability of Titans. I don't know how he figured that out. I don't know how the king did it. We just plot holes. At this point, okay, sure, we're rolling with it, because Attack on Titan gotten really, really wild this season. But that moment where Eren's telling Ymir, like, you don't have to keep making Titans. You can stop. Stop it right now. And he grabs her like, you're free. You can do what you want. And Ymir like cries. Was a moment where you're like, oh my gosh. And on top of that, because Eren has the memories of his dad and the other Attack Titans, he can also see the future. So Eren, when he touches somebody of royal blood who is Historia in season 3, he kisses her hand, he actually sees the future of what's going on. So apparently Eren went back in the past and made sure his father did the things that he's supposed to do, so that Eren can then become the one to end the cycle of everything. Which you're also like, what? Huh? And the last episode, he is having moments where he is seeing stuff, and he's like, it's so tragic, it's so sad, because he's been there in the past, so his past self can experience what's going on. And not only that, but also Armin has the same kind of reaction. Like, he has the memories of Bertholdt and those before him, and Bertholdt had a crush on Annie, so Armin kind of continues that crush on Annie. He'd been talking to Annie this whole time, which when Annie comes back to life, Armin and Annie doesn't even have a moment. They talk to each other, but they don't really have a moment where you're like, oh, Annie's just like, oh yeah, you guys are there for me, and you guys kind of like kept me going while I was in this deep sleep, but deep subconscious sleep. I could tell what's going on, but I wasn't moving. She was like, well, thank you guys for being there. But other than that, she and Armin didn't really have a moment, and I kind of feel like there's a missed moment. I feel like they missed something out on that. They could have done something with that. But maybe by getting season 4 part 3, which is another thing. This is not the final season. Just name this season 5, and then next one season 6. This is season 4, season 5, season 6 versus part 1, part 2, part 3 of season 4, and y'all releasing bits and pieces. Just call it a different season. Season 2 is like 12 or 15 episodes. It's perfectly fine. We'll be okay with that, but they didn't. They continued forward. So season 3 or season 6 of Attack on Titan, which is part 3 of season 4, comes out in 2023. Another filler that I feel a spoiler I talked about was kind of hit on. Levi does come back. He is alive. He's not really doing anything at the moment, but he does exist. And then in the final episode, you have Mikasa, who's finally having her moment, and whether or not she should have told Eren that she likes him, but she doesn't. So she's like having her moment, and she's wavering back and forth, and they start to make a storyline of her to be the one to kill Eren, and she can do it because Annie's down to kill Eren, Reiner's down to kill Eren, Armin, we don't know, because Armin's at this point just being like, he's depressed. He feel like he's not doing the right things. He feel like they wasted the Titan ability on him. And I'm just like, come on, Armin, you're the Attack Titan. You're somebody who stood up to the army before, where's your courage at now? Connie has more guts than you at this point. Connie was somebody who was like, the dude's just a joke character, and he's legit like a strong character at this point. So I wish Army had more things to do, and Falco is the Jaw Titan now, which he's like a bird mix Jaw Titan. He has a moment, he knows how to he doesn't know how to control it immediately, but he could transform at will. Like, he knew he had the Titan ability, he transformed, he was told what happened, and he had a pretty cool moment. Annie and Reiner's moment, the Attack Titan and Armor Titan moment, was pretty cool. That was a dope moment when they both revealed out. I'm trying to think anything else in this season. I feel like that's it. That's the main spoilers. Like, you had the reveal of the Founder Titan and that moment, which is pretty big. You have the rumblings that happen, and we're moving into the next season, which started like 6 episodes into season 12, or 12 episodes of season 5, or part 2 of part 4 final. So weird to say that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can talk about. I think I pretty much explained everything I wanted to talk about. Eren and Zeke trying to get together for the moment, and Eren betrays Zeke, and pretty much like, no, I'm going to use this power to destroy all our bad guys and not stop our Titan. Like, and Eren actually wants to save everybody. It's one of the reasons why he's doing this. He wants for his friends to enjoy life, which is crazy because he's about to commit genocide for that to happen. That's not the right way to go about it. So Eren is pretty much twisted at this point. And I kind of wish we got more of that twistedness on why he got there. Episode 28 of season 4 wasn't enough for me to be like, why is he complete, like, I'm going to destroy all humans now. He went from destroying all Titans to I'm going to destroy all humans and let all the Titans survive, and we're going to end this horrible thing by destroying them first. Versus Zeke was like, just euthanize us. Make sure we do not have the ability to reproduce and let the Titan bloodline die out. Like, I don't know. Both two different people, two different ways. One, I guess, be more peaceful, but at the same time, it doesn't solve the problem because the hatred still exists. And the other one just like, we're continuing the cycle of hate. Destroy all humans. Do it now. Do it. Like, Eren is definitely a menace right now, and I really wanted more of that backstory of how he became a menace. Episode 28 gives you like what he's, not really what he's thinking, but you can see he's plotting stuff, and then he just leaves. And that's like, I really wanted to know where was the trigger, why was the trigger, and then they show like, oh, his mama dying was the trigger, but it's like, but that's been like, you know, 80 something episodes ago. Just saying. Any other thoughts? Not really. The first 6 episodes of part 2 of season 4 is really good. It's really solid. The last, I'll say the last 6 except for episode 28 are hit and miss. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all my thoughts on Attack on Titan season 4 part 2. It could just call season 5. They're revealing season 6 or season 4 part 3 next year in 2023. So I'm going to read the manga so I can catch up on it by the time they revealed it. Any other thoughts? You guys seen Attack on Titan season 4? What do you think? Please put in the spoiler section below or comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode, movie breakdowns, series reviews, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode, movie breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.